Welcome to a brand new episode of CNB here on the NDTV network. I am Santa Clara and we're coming to you this week from the annual New York International Auto Show. So I'm starting off All American, as you can see, with the Lincoln brand. It is a brand new SUV that's making its debut here for Lincoln. This is the new Aviator, and unlike some of the past Lincoln SUVs, this one doesn't just reskin an existing Ford SUV, it actually builds on a new rear-wheel drive platform. But being an SUV, it does, of course, have all-wheel drive, but that rear bias, well, it promises a nice sporty ride. Not relevant for our market? Yes, but it's certainly something that's worth taking in from a design and engineering point of view. The 2018 New York International Auto Show has been a busy affair, with plenty of significant debuts and the show itself gaining prominence. As always, it begins though with the World Car of the Year Awards function opening the New York show. And like last year's awards, this year too, the World Car process proves that SUVs are in vogue now. We begin with a look at the finalists for the World Luxury Car: the Audi A8, Porsche Cayenne and Porsche Panamera.
The three contenders are, in alphabetical order, the Audi A8, the Porsche Cayenne and the Porsche Panamera. So, the 2018 World Luxury Car winner is, fighting with the envelope again, the Audi A8.
With a new generation of a product, you always go up in terms of technology and performance, and even in terms of ride comfort and handling. Well, with the new Audi A8, the German brand certainly exemplifies that, and it was no surprise really for anyone seeing the Audi A8 driving away with the World Car Luxury Car of the Year award.
We are very humbled and privileged to be recognized here in this esteemed community. And now for the seventh time, we are humbled and privileged to stand up here, but it is for the first time that we are recognized for the Luxury Award.
Next, on to some hair-raising performance. The final three had the BMW M5 take on the Honda Civic Type R and the Lexus LC500.
The finalists in the 2018 World Performance Car category are the BMW M5, the Honda Civic Type R, and the Lexus LC500. I have the winner right in this envelope. The winner of the World Performance Car category is... it's the BMW M5.
The ultimate driving machine, well, our over 80 jurors certainly thought so, and that's why it was possibly, again, no surprise to see the BMW M5 in its new generation bag the World Performance Car of the Year award for 2018.
Our M5, what a spectacular vehicle for all the juror selection members that got to experience it. Thank you so much for this. 600 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. We are so proud of this vehicle, and thank you so much for this award. Thank you.
On now to the World Urban Car of the Year. The Ford Fiesta, Suzuki Swift and Volkswagen Polo were the final three.
The winner of the 2018 World Urban Car Award is the Volkswagen Polo.
It's a huge leap forward for Volkswagen. The Polo has been sold worldwide 17.5 million times to satisfied customers, and it's a true hallmark of the brand. Yeah, thank you very much, and we are really proud. Thanks a lot.
And then on to the two awards that I got to present. First up, World Car Design of the Year. For 2018, the top 3 in the world finalists for design are the Lexus LC 500, the Range Rover Velar, and the Volvo XC60. That, of course, was in alphabetical order, and now we find out who's going to win. 2018 World Car Design of the Year, the winner is the Range Rover Velar.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's really an honor for us, an unbelievable honor, and therefore I, first of all, on behalf of Jaguar Land Rover and all my team, I would like to say thank you to all the assessors who really were convinced by this unbelievable product substance of the new Range Rover Velar.
All right, so 3 gorgeous cars and 1 gorgeous winner. Many congratulations to Jaguar Land Rover for kicking things off with that first one. It is now my privilege to also announce the winner in the World Green Car category. And now we've had 12 winners across brands here. BMW has bagged it thrice. Honda, Mercedes-Benz and Toyota have each won the award 2 times. In fact, Toyota winning back-to-back the last 2 years. The top 3 in the world finalists for the green car category are the BMW 530e i-Performance, the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, and the Nissan Leaf, again in alphabetical order that. And the 2018 World Green Car is the Nissan Leaf. The 3 finalists in the green category were from BMW, Chrysler and Nissan, and I was lucky enough to present not just the design category this year but also the World Green Car, and the winner, very predictably perhaps, the Nissan Leaf in its 2nd generation. Now remember, the 1st generation Leaf had actually won World Car of the Year in 2011, so no surprise to see how strong this particular car has been received in its new avatar.
The Nissan, Renault, Mitsubishi Alliance have sold over 300,000 Leafs, and this is great to be recognized for the value and the technology that this vehicle brings. With ProPilot Assist and e-pedal, we have over 15,000 customers waiting for the all-new Nissan Leaf, and I'm happy to accept this award on behalf of Nissan and behalf of our customers as well. Thank you.
And finally, the big one, World Car of the Year 2018.
All of our top 3 finalists in the main category, the World Car of the Year, are SUVs, which, as I'm sure you will all agree, is a definite sign of the times. So without further ado, the top 3 in the 2018 World Car of the Year are, of course, the cars you see up on stage with me: the Mazda CX-5, the Range Rover Velar, and the Volvo XC60. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? The winner of the 2018 World Car of the Year is the Volvo XC60.
You know what is sticking out? First of all, it's a beautiful design. It's Volvo. Prioritized safety, and I would say it's we have a good track record in this segment. So we're going from good to great.
So as is tradition, all 3 finalists up on stage for the big prize. The Mazda dressed in traditional red. You always see this nice striking shade of red on the Mazdas at most show floors. No different with the CX-5. Really, really nice design. Now, speaking of good design, you also have the Range Rover Velar, the winner, in fact, for the 2018 World Car Design Award. And rounding off in alphabetical order, the final three, the Volvo XC60. Now, Volvo has been getting so much attention for this car, just like Range Rover has for the Velar, in so many world markets. In fact, it's also been sweeping up a lot of awards in many markets. So, no surprise then, the World Car of the Year 2018 is the Volvo XC60. Volvo's Geneva Stunner, the V60 and the compact XC40 were also getting plenty of attention at the Volvo Pavilion, besides the new World Car of the Year, of course. The other award winners were also proudly showing off their newly acquired silverware. The Range Rover Velar makes it 2 years in a row for JLR in the design category, also strengthening the status as the company with the most design wins. The Velar joins the F-Pace, F-Type and Evoque as previous winners. Of course, JLR also has North America debuts for Geneva's Range Rover SV Coupe and the electric Jaguar I-Pace, but a global debut for this hot SUV. Now, the SVR badge is something you didn't notice. If the redesigned bumper with all of this is something you didn't notice, well, those 4 pipes down there, they're going to sing a tune that you're going to hear for sure. It is the F-Pace SVR, was expected to debut in New York and has done so. We're talking about quite a lot of high performance here that rivals not just performance SUVs, but a lot of sports cars as well. The same 5-litre V8 supercharged engine as the F-Type and Range Rover Sport SVR, but rated slightly lower at 540 bhp. The F-Pace SVR should be a hoot to drive, as will this car, the Audi RS5, making its debut. 438 bhp and 600 Nm of torque. Wow! Audi also showing off its world luxury car win, of course. In many ways, the obvious winner of the world luxury car for 2018, the Audi A8 is both literally and metaphorically the big flagship for the brand. It certainly has that presence in every market it goes into, and it's a title it will occupy once again when it arrives in India later on this year. Yes, we're expecting this model, remember, to drive in just a few days' time actually. And interestingly now, here in the US as well, you get the A8L, the long wheelbase, which is the car we'll be getting in India too. Mercedes-Benz came to the party with lots to share. New metal galore. It's the world premiere of the update or the facelift on the C Cabriolet. Now, this segment's starting to become weirdly important in India because you've started to see a lot of convertibles suddenly making an appearance. We've had the C before. I'm pretty sure Mercedes will bring us the update as well. Geneva's Star, the AMG GT63S, is also making its North American debut here. And the other debut, well, that's a world debut again over there. That's the C63 from Mercedes AMG as well. Now, lots of power under that hood, and certainly one of the cars I cannot wait to drive. That new AMG C63 still has the twin-turbo V8 in 2 output tunes, but a new 9-speed AMG Speedshift MCT. BMW is also showing off its win for the M5, which is now World Performance Car of the Year. Cadillac is showing us its new CT6 V Sport, 550 horses, 4.2-litre V8, a new engine from Caddy by the way, and made it to a new 10-speed transmission. Whoa! Honda has brought its new generation Insight Hybrids production model to New York and the updated Accord Hybrid. While Lexus continues to turn heads with its structural blue paintwork on the sexy LC500. The UX compact crossover from Geneva also premieres in America here. Parent company Toyota's new Corolla hatchback is getting much attention. And if you think that's ideal for us, well, what about this? A lot of the American media is calling this the biggest debut in New York. It is the new 5th generation of Toyota's RAV4 SUV. It's got more angular, sexier, bigger, more muscular than before. And for years I've been saying it is the ideal model for Toyota to be bringing to us. Still nothing on the horizon on that front, but get this, here in the US, certainly very important, because just last year alone, Toyota sold over 400,000 of these. Well, not these, because this is the new generation, but the RAV4, certainly very important for the American market. It's all SUVs at the Hyundai stand, and the Nexo certainly getting a lot of attention. It is the brand's first fuel cell vehicle. Recently made a market debut in Korea, being shown here in New York as well. And we also have the world debut of the update or the mid-cycle facelift on the Tucson. Now that's certainly relevant to us. The car looks a little edgier. It's got a lot more chrome and the Cascade grille up front and new LED lights. It looks pretty sharp, as does the new generation of the Santa Fe. Now we showed it to you at Geneva. That's a North America debut for that, and the electric Kona as well.
We're in Silicon Valley. Now, why are we here? This is the tech capital of the world, but you would hardly expect an automaker to be in this sort of neighborhood. Well, that difference between automotive manufacturing and technology and development and cars as we know it and technology as we know it, that line's diminishing really quickly. Now, we're at one of these new age automakers. It's called Byton. They've announced an SUV earlier this year at the CES show in Vegas, and we're at their headquarters in Santa Clara in California to check out that new SUV a little more up close and personal. And this is the kind of stuff that really, as an automotive journalist, excites the daylights out of me. Straight up, it is very clear that this new SUV is gunning straight for the likes of the Tesla Model X, the upcoming Mercedes-Benz EQC, and the recently launched Jaguar I-Pace. The design is certainly a lot more towards the crossover side of things as compared to the traditional SUV that we in India still love, but well, that's the way all the automakers of the world are going, a lot softer and more approachable on design. This of course is still a concept, so it does get a lot of those futuristic styling elements like the LED headlamps or the LED tail lamps and those massive wheels. The concept also gets cameras for rear view mirrors and buttons to open the door, both of which are unlikely to actually make it to production. That said, it is in essence quite a handsome looking car, and if you are wondering why it does look familiar, especially around that C-pillar, it is because there are some BMW traits present here. Why? Well, that is because the CEO of Byton, Dr. Carsten Breitfeld, was in charge of the BMW i8 project and the Vice President and Head of Strategy for BMW Group before he joined Byton. Some pretty formidable leadership then. Now the Byton concept is very cool. It looks really cool as we've just showcased the outside. This is still a concept SUV. 85% of this will make it to production though. And the big thing in the interior of course is that awesome massive display in the front. And when I asked if that would make it to production, I did get an emphatic and absolute yes. So that's definitely a future of mobility. Now this part of the screen does stay constant, and it does offer more driver focused feedback, more driver focused information. All of that though is customizable. It doesn't have it, or it will not in the future have something like an Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, etc., because it would actually take away from this whole clean interface. What it does have is their own personal UI, which will offer a lot more customization, and it will sync to whatever device you have wirelessly. So if it's a smartwatch, smartphone, it just syncs to it without any need to do anything. It automatically detects a new smartphone in, and it syncs. Also, you have a whole bunch of other information. So for example, you've got cameras everywhere, you've got swipe, you've got a whole bunch of connectivity options that connect you to the car, and this big screen is just so cool, so impressive. If this is the future of mobility, definitely sign me up for it. Now, in terms of range, in terms of the way the car launches, 2019 is when they see a market launch, maybe in China. Soon after that is the 2020 model year launch in the United States, if everything goes to plan, and soon after that a market launch in Europe too. This does offer two variants as of now. It will be a low range variant, which will be a starter at about $45,000. The price has already been announced, and there will be a slightly more expensive variant at about $50,000-ish. Now, 325 miles of range is more than enough for anybody, and in fact, when you're talking about US statistics, the average 90% of the average travel in the US daily is about 30 to 35 miles. So that kind of a range is enough for anybody's weekly commute, and that's exactly what they're targeting here. Byton has already opened reservations for the SUV, which in turn does give you, as a prospective buyer, a priority when pre-bookings will eventually open. The Byton SUV, as mentioned earlier, will be available in two variants. The more affordable variant will have a 71 kWh battery with just about 400 kilometers of range on a single charge. This variant will sport just one rear-mounted motor, making 268 bhp and 400 Newton meters of torque. The more expensive version will pack a more powerful battery pack, making 91 kilowatts per hour, and will have two motors, giving the SUV all-wheel drive. The variant will pack 469 bhp and 709 Newton meters of peak torque. That said, while it is the same size as a Model X, with prices expected to be around the $50,000 mark, it is almost half the price. So in a way, it will also take on the likes of the Tesla Model Y crossover that is expected in 2019 too. And it goes without saying, we are definitely looking forward to driving it.
Now, I started the program today All-American, and it certainly is going to be the way I'm ending things as well. It does not get more All-American than a huge pickup truck. Now, there's nothing new about this one, but certainly gets your attention just the same, doesn't it? You got to react to the New York Auto Show and our special segment also on electric cars that you had on the program today. React also to the World Car Award wins and what you think of them. You know how to reach me at Sid Partankar on Twitter, and please wear your seatbelts, please wear your helmets, and please join me next week.